Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, I have a guest with me, and it is once again TonyScapone, who has once again invented a new Legacy combo deck. Tony, what's up?
What's going on, Brian? Excited to be here, excited to play some Jewel.
Yeah, Jewel, Coveted Jewel. Vintage players know. This deck is one of the top decks in Vintage. It won Vintage Champs this year, the US version, defeating me in the top 8, so obviously I hate it. But it's cool that you've made it work in Legacy. Tell me about this deck and how we got here.
So mostly what kicked this off was the unbanning of Mind's Desire, which ever since it has sent me on a tailspin of brewing with mono blue. We have since completely shed Mind's Desire in either the PO deck or this Jewel deck here. But I always dipped in and out of testing Jewel because it's a sweet card and I wanted to make it work. So, I mean, the point of this deck is that we are trying to resolve a Jewel, whether it's from Jewel itself or using Transmute Artifact. You will notice our mana base, every single land, aside from Urza Saga, makes 2 mana. This is very important because we are casting large spells, and it allows us to, even if we're getting wastelanded, 2 mana in one land feels like 2 cards in one. It also helps support Force of Will, because we have more room for that. But yeah, I mean, the deck is mostly trying to jam a ring, get set up with some early mana with maybe Grim Monolith. Of course, we do have Force of Wills. We do Saga stuff. And then we are looking to basically bridge the gap to Coveted Jewel. When we land a Coveted Jewel, we are extremely likely to win on the spot. We are even likely, not extremely, but likely to win on the spot with no land drop, no other mana floating, no other cards in hand. All it takes.
Not surprised to hear that, having experienced the Vintage version of the deck, and you've done a good job with this. I'm going to jump in here because I'm excited about this engine, and you can tell me if I've missed anything at the end. So Coveted Jewel enters the battlefield, draws 3 cards, and then you can tap it for 3 of any color. It's Black Lotus and Ancestral Recall. And then Phyrexian Metamorph costs 3, which happens to be what Jewel taps for. Then you could copy Jewel and draw another 3 cards, get another 3 mana. Copy Artifact is a Jewel that you actually net 1 mana when you cast. Transmute Artifact is another Jewel that you actually net 1 mana when you cast. And Dream's Grip, tap or untap target permanent. Tell me, is this actually just draw some more cards with the ring in a one-shot, or is there more going on here?
Oh, there's a lot more going on. Okay. I wrote this card off for a while. I just figured it wasn't good enough until I understood, and I can credit Builder Burn, aka Preslev. I believe he's a German player who does a lot of brewing with me on these decks, and he kept insisting on it and then was playing it and finally convinced me to play it. And what convinced me was when I realized that you can target a soul land. So it really doesn't take much for this to at least be a Rite of Flame, a +1 ritual. If it targets a Grim Monolith or a Jewel, it is a Dark Ritual or a Rainbow Ritual, whatever you want to call it. And yes, you can target your ring, and you can also tap stuff randomly, which comes up. It's really flexible, and one of the hardest things about this deck is managing your blue card count, which it is low. It always is, traditionally, with the deck. And Dream's Grip is a way to have a ritual, a very flexible and modal card that is also blue.
Yeah, I did notice that there's only 1 manifold key in this Grim Monolith mana base, where normally this is kind of the thing you're trying to do, Monolith plus key, and then you're off. And I guess Dream's Grip does a pretty good key impression while supporting Force of Will and having some other text, like key can't untap a land, like you said. So that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, the problem with a high density of keys is the card just doesn't do anything on its own. So a deck like Mystic Forge plays additional monoliths, basalt monoliths, and then it can run more keys. The issue is, if you're trying to run Force of Will, you just can't play that many colorless cards. And if you shrink those numbers any more than playing a lot of Basalt Monolith alongside your keys, you just wind up with openers and draws that draw into keys that do nothing, and you can't afford it.
Right. Okay. So I think we get what the deck's about, but you are playing a card that I've never seen in a deck. Talk to me about Relic of Sauron. I was so excited when you sent me the list and saw this.
So this card is sweet. It makes 2 mana of any combination of blue, black, and red. Mostly, almost always, it's making blue. Lines up very well with Transmute Artifact. If you land this card and have a Transmute Artifact, it's kind of like a more costly ring. You don't get the trigger, of course, but it does give you ring redundancy. And if you have any more mana, you can start to very easily be able to work your way up to a jewel. So it provides redundancy for the key components of the deck while also giving us double blue, which is huge, and it's repeatable. Not only that, but it is a draw engine in and of itself. It works really well with Copy Artifact and Phyrexian Metamorph. You can play 2 and 3 mana Relic of Saurons, and all of a sudden have a huge board of repeatable mana on top of a draw engine. And the last thing I'll say about this card, and it is very important actually, Pithing Needle can be a pain in the butt. Sometimes we can just play around it if we start jeweling and really going off. But naming the One Ring with Pithing Needle is a pain in the butt. And if we can, even if you have Engine in play, right? Because you don't draw your deck because you can't even use the One Ring. But with this card, if Engine is in play, it really doesn't take that much to just go infinite with Relic. So it's just super flexible. And I know I mentioned bridging the gap earlier. Bridging the gap to Jewel, you need more things to do in between. First off, in between 0 mana and the One Ring, and then you need some action before the Jewel. And this creates that for us.
Cool. I am basically ready to jump in here, and we don't need to talk about it, but there are 4 Lodestone Golems in the sideboard, and there have been many brew challenges on this channel where I'm playing some Ancient Tomb deck, and I'm like, wait, I could sideboard Lodestone Golem for when I want to just go in. And it's never worked, not once. But you've done a lot of work on this deck, and you're playing 4 of them. I am excited to see those in action. I hope we get a matchup where that comes up.
Oh, it will. They come in a lot.
All right, that is exactly what I wanted to hear. Are you ready to go play?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. We're on the draw in round 1. I'm going to try to give my thoughts, and then you could tell me why I'm right or wrong. And my thought is this hand doesn't do anything. Do you have a high enough density of 4s that you trust a hand like this, or do you mull them?
I keep a hand, I don't want to say like this. There are hands like this that I wouldn't, but there's a few things going on. 1, they mulliganed. 2, we do have a Force of Will. So if that wasn't there, it would be less likely that I'd be keeping it. And 3, probably the most important thing about the deck is that we do have some mana underneath us. And Metamorphs aren't, it's not often that Metamorphs are just blank. I think this will pan out. We do have a lot of action to run into.
All right, yeah. Cool. I'm glad you're here. I probably would have mulliganed this on my own, but I did a lot of playing of your PO ring deck and started to learn to trust the pile after a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's terrible to mull this. There are much better hands.
We're playing against Rhinos.
Okay, this is a challenging match.
Okay. Do we invest in Sappers and Scary for the future, or do we just get this monolith down while we can?
I think I play Scary here. I don't think there's a huge rush at this very moment.
Yeah, the Rhino deck has adopted Wasteland largely.
Yeah.
So I think trying to get stable mana under us makes sense.
Yep.
And we also don't care if they ice this land in the upkeep. Uh-oh.
Ooh, baby.
All right, we both had the same reaction there. So let me walk through this. We've got Ancient Tomb, which casts Grim Monolith. Grim Monolith can float 3, and then we can twist that into a 4-drop, or we could spend a Metamorph, which turns on Opal, and then we have a bunch of extra mana to get straight up to Jewel, all of under Force Backup. How would you sequence this?
So I'd play Tomb, I'd play Monolith. We actually have a lot more mana than you were giving it credit for. If you use one Metamorph to just copy Monolith, then your Opal's turned on, and then you can use your Dream's Grip to be a colorless ritual for your monolith. And then we have a jewel plus some additional mana with the force backup as well.
Okay. You're thinking save the second metamorph to be the force card. I was thinking Dreamscript is the force card. I think metamorph's better if we find a jewel. So let me
No,
try.
we're getting a jewel off Transmute right now.
Right. So 3. Yeah, we need another mana source. So we're metamorphing the monolith.
Yep.
And then Opal's on, and then we just send it on the Transmute.
Yeah, it would be exact. I guess we don't have to waste the dream script.
Yeah, I was thinking once the dust settles, I would rather have Metamorph in my hand than Dream Script if I have a jewel.
Yep.
Metamorph. Opponents got 4 cards in their hand. Mox Opal.
I think it's pretty likely they have at least one Force of Will.
Yes.
And if they have 2, well, then they don't really have cards.
Yep. Okay, so how does this card actually work? Do I need to float 4? I guess because of Opal and Monolith specifically, I do need to float all 4 ahead of time.
You don't need to, because we can sack the other Monolith. If your only Monolith is the one that you're sacking, then yes, because once the card resolves, you can't go tapping. You have to choose what you're sacrificing. So we can choose to sacrifice the tap. You do have to tap the Opal, sorry.
Okay,
yes.
So I'm going to tap the Opal and then tap Scary. And I'm going to Transmute. And then on resolution, Transmute asks us to pay X. Is that...
Yeah, so you can just put it on the stack.
All right, yeah, I know it doesn't sacrifice like Tinker does. It is all part of resolution.
It's super weird.
Yeah, it's a weird
for
one.
Sure.
This card is so stupid. I want to thank you, by the way, for this deck spiking the price of this card. It's one of the last goofy reserve list things that I don't have a set of in real life, and I was hoping to round those out in the near future, and just came right from my wallet.
I know, I need to get 2 more myself. It's gone up like $80 in the past week.
Oof. All right, I am forcing back. They got 2 cards left here. And, oh baby, priority was passed.
We're in there.
All right. I'm going to sack the tapped Grim Monolith and get a Coveted Jewel. And I would like to pay 4. Yes. And it's just in there. We've got a Metamorph to do another one. If they had Force, they would have used it. They might have Brazen Borrower and bounce this before we can copy it. Oh, Ice. I don't care about that at all. Just float blue. That doesn't do shit. The only thing that could do is cantrip into another Force blue card.
But they should have already used if that was the case.
Right. Yeah. I'm just going to start clicking here and hopefully draw my deck. Jewel.
What's nice is they don't have a creature, so even if we do whiff here, it's not really going to be a whiff. It's going to be put 15 mana and a 1 ring, good luck.
Yeah, right. This is awesome. Another Transmute. Okay. There is 2 more actual jewels in the deck.
At this point, we don't want jewels. We can just get an engine, actually.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then win with the ring.
Okay. Yep. I was going to ask it, at what point do we pivot onto a different thing? And clearly that is now. Transmute will see a 6-drop if I sack this copy artifact, right? That's how the rules work. Okay.
Yep.
Sack the jewel, get the Paradox Engine, and there's a Mox Opal in play. Okay, yeah, they've seen enough. Sick. All right, nice. Okay, what's the sideboard plan here?
We like Force of Negation, and we like Lodestone Golem.
I always like Lodestone Golem.
We could play Otawara. They do play Wasteland. We do want a higher density of lands. It's not terrible against rhinos. So bring those in, and I'm interested in actually just trying to think if this is a spot in which we remove the combo entirely. Oftentimes when you run the creature plan, you bring in Wormcoil and Lodestone, and you're just taking Emrakul, Coveted Jewel, Paradox Engine, a bunch of the combo out.
That's dirty, by the way. Just letting you know, as a control wizard who would be bringing in everything I can to stop the combo. I'm mad at you right now. but it is cool.
Yep.
And I would have not figured that out if you're not here. So
But I'm not sure if we actually want to do that here because we're not bringing in engine. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we are. We're going full blown. Engine is the way to go in this matchup. Sorry. Bring in the engines as well. The worm coils.
okay.
So we're 13 cards in. We're taking out the jewels. We're taking out Emrakul. We're taking out engine. We're taking out Relic of Sauron because they're not very good against Force of Vigor and they're just a bit slow. I don't love the Dreams Grips. We can trim actually just both of those. We can trim a Mox Opal because it's not very good against Force of Vigor. Where are we at on cards?
We've got 10.
So we need
10 versus
3 more. We do not need Chain of Vapor. 2 more. We can... I'm fine with just literally cutting the other opal.
Like down to 0?
No, just
Okay.
down
just
to
one.
1 is fine.
Okay.
And trimming a Transmute is fine.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at Transmute or Copy as things that were probably next on my list.
Copy is fantastic with this plan because you get 2 mana Worm Coils or 2 mana Lodestones, or 3 mana Lodestone.
Yeah, it's filthy. Okay. I'm gonna hit submit. We are just about out of time here, and I am glad that I know about this juke now. So I have a chance in hell at beating this deck if I play against it, which I would not have had otherwise. I like Force of Negation, kind of. That is good against half of their deck. We've got Monolith, and then what? Do you like this hand? I'm sus of it, but
I don't love it, but it has a lot of the things that we do need. We are very close to casting a turn 2 Worm Coil. We can't protect it, but we can stop one of their things. The transmutes are a bit awkward, but we're also on the draw, so we get a draw step. We have 20 lands in our deck, plenty of mana. I would keep it.
okay.
I'm not thrilled with it, but a lot of our draws are really good, and I think we get at least 2, maybe even 3 of them before we're really on the crunch to draw the right things.
Oh, well, there's that card. I hope they fight over this. Okay, so we can have 4 mana here, which is not enough to do anything. This is turn 2 Worm Coil if we just chill.
Yep.
I am just gonna chill.
And we're really hoping they actually go for rhinos here. We force it and they force back so that we can play a Worm Coil. Doesn't look like that's the case.
Okay. No new plan has emerged. Is there any benefit to being patient, or does it just get worse for us as the game goes on?
I think it's too likely to get worse.
Okay. All right. Worms Mackenzie on the stack. Hope they have a handful of Force Negations. We're in there.
Ooh.
I mean,
wow.
they have Brazen Borrower, they have Ice.
Yep.
There's a lot of ways that this is not stable. Wow, just cycling Lauren revealed. Get in my belly. I like that.
Yeah, they do have a lot of relevant interaction. I would have loved to have drawn a land at this point. I would really like to draw one now. I basically, at the start, said if we can draw land in the next 3, we're probably fine. We drew a Grim Monolith, which at least got the Worm Coil in there, but come on now. Let's get a land.
Okay, they're just sending a squad of rhinos, which do not beat Worm Coil Engine.
Nope.
That resolves. Come on, land. Let's get a second Worm Coil here. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Jack's a wise guy. All right. I'm here to bash. If they do trade off, it makes our copies worse, but it does completely stabilize the board in a way that I'm pretty happy with.
Yeah, we gain 6. If we can draw a soul land, we can start untapping monoliths and then playing Worm Coils.
Yeah, they clearly don't have, or at least didn't 2 turns ago, have a Brazen Borrower or a Force of Will. You can rule out those things. Oh no. They're coming for our families at this point. They didn't waste me.
They have a Force of Vigor? No.
They did waste me. They just lied about it. Okay. Well, there's that one. It is my turn. A surprise Rhino ambush would eat the lifelink worm. Endurance would eat the lifelink worm. Do you just attack with Death Touch, or do you just make them have it here?
They have 4 cards. I don't think we're really winning this game without attacking.
All right. I was sending the Death Touch Worm regardless. Just wasn't sure how much of a
Right.
free lunch I wanted to give them on lifelink, but it's not a great blocker, so whatever. All right, Relentless Rhinoing.
Yeah, they do have them.
All right, so we're going to be at 25 facing down, 16 power. 8 of it can attack next turn.
I mean, we have Force Negation.
Oh, yeah. We can just spike that one. Do you play out the city? Or is that risky?
It's tough. I think we have to. I think there's enough pressure where it's appropriate.
Okay. All right, so gotta force this one. Keep the pressure off.
It is awkward if we draw tap land. We want to draw either another city or an ancient tomb so that we can untap a monolith.
Mystical Dispute. Can't pay for it. That wasteland was solid. Okay. Well, we can at least start looking at what they bordered in. Magus of the Moon. Force of Vigor confirmed.
So the difficulties that we're experiencing right now are a result of not drawing a land until turn 5?
Yeah.
Right after we got wastelanded.
Correct.
Which is unlikely, but that's the risk we took when we kept the hand.
Oof.
Bummer.
So they attack for 16. I trade with 3 of it, and I don't know. What are we even hoping to draw at this point?
Probably a 1 ring and mana.
Well, we have 1 draw step, so we can't draw 1 ring and mana.
Draw. Yeah, you're right. I don't think we have a draw, but
well, yeah, that wasteland was clutch. It took 5 turns instead of the 3 you predicted to find a land, and they had wasteland. I think even if they don't wasteland, we're still okay there. So that was a pretty good showing considering our opening hand was all the cards we got that game.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we play 20 lands, and this is why we play the ones that all tap for 2. So that we're more live if we do actually draw land. I don't see any reason to change anything. Maybe, how many blue cards do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 16, 18. No, that's fine. Can't really afford to trim another blue card. I think we're fine to just resend it.
Yeah, we cut 4 blue cards and added 4 blue cards in sideboarding, so still at the base level here. Okay, I'm going in. I hope Lodestone Golem makes a relevant appearance here. Okay, I like this hand. I don't need further guidance. This actually does stuff, and it has both forces. Lead on Scurry.
I mean, I would have at least considered playing a turn 1 ring.
Okay. Yep. The control player
turn 1 ring
is taking it slow. Yeah, I just forgot about Lotus Petal as a relevant mana source here. Whoops. Okay.
It's all right. I'm not even sure if either is better than the other, so this is fine.
Oh, never punished here. We can just do that now with blue mana up, or we could do that now, use a depletion counter instead of Lotus Petal. What does the doctor recommend here?
We can't successfully have hardcast Force Negation up alongside this 1 ring. The question
Not
is
this turn, but right. I feel like we should probably get the ball moving on this thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. The question is, do we blow Scary, Monolith, Petal, and play Scary? Or do we play Ancient Tomb? I think I'm leaning towards Ancient Tomb. And then the next question is, do we use our Scary or our Petal? And I think, honestly, I don't know. Your call.
Okay. If it's my call, I think we should use Scary, Monolith, and Petal. And then we have the option to invest in the future Scary. Because there's a good chance 2 mana goes unspent if we do the land drop first. And if we tap the 1 ring and just hit something we want to cast, we still have Ancient Tomb available.
Sure.
All right.
Or draw a Saga. Yeah, I was forgetting the fact that we can just put this on the stack before we decide what land. It does mean we're committing to using both Monolith and Petal, but I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. We're just in there on that. Resolves. It's my favorite word, resolves. Okay. And we didn't draw a payoff, so now we get to invest in the tap land, still have Force backup. They might have like Force of Vigor over there. That there was no point in that sequence where that card would have been useful.
Yep. They're probably real scared right now.
Heck yeah. Scared right back to Saprazan.
Ooh.
We could slam this Worm Coil, and that is basically it's slam Worm Coil, or it's just hold up Hardcast Force and Pitchcast Force and hide behind the ring for a while. We could copy Grim Monolith. That doesn't seem that useful to me.
Yeah, I mean, playing Worm Coil with Force backup or waiting a turn in which we have double Force and drawing, 3 cards next turn, both of those things are outrageously powerful and both likely to win. I really don't know what would be better.
Right. So if we play Worm Coil, it opens up these rhinos are still 3 turns away. They can't Mystical Dispute right now. If they have Force of Will, they drew it this turn because we just resolved a ring last turn. Brazen Borrower, it could clear the ring, would have cleared the ring, I think, before we untapped. If they had that, is that how they would use that? Do they care at that
I think
point?
I'm leaning towards passing. What's nice is if they don't actually do anything, we can untap this monolith by
Yep.
just using one of the scary counters.
Okay.
And then we can just go nuts next turn.
Well, I'm the player who didn't even recognize the possibility of turn 1 ring here, so I'm cool with passing. Yeah, spending 2 life and a depletion counter to untap Monolith does turn on the Force of Vigor, I suspect, is in their hand. But it's still a 2 for 1. Magoose of the Moon. We can just untap Monolith in response here, and I could float to let Magus resolve, untap this the rest of the way.
I'd probably float 2 with the scary. It's going to become a mountain anyways, and then we don't pay 2 life.
Do we have any plan to remove this thing? Will this counter matter later?
I don't think so. I think I'm fine with it. I think it actually improves things in a lot of ways as long as we don't draw like Saga, but that won't even matter either because we're just drawing a billion cards.
Cool. Resolves. Untap
Mountains?
Monolith.
Sure.
Sounds good. This does mean we probably have to force Force of Vigor. That just targets Monolith because our double land situation's a lot worse. And I would like to cast this Worm Coil.
We at least get to draw with the One Ring.
Yeah, if they had done this in response to this trigger,
be better, yeah.
Yeah, I would have taken an extra 1, but yeah, let's draw 3. See what the Force Pitch scenario looks like. Okay. Monolith is 3, 4, 5 mana. Yeah, I think we want to try to force this.
Yeah, sure.
And then make it rain. Yeah.
You only have 3 cards.
Okay, that just worked. Oh, the low G. Okay. Time to sequence a turn.
So we have 8 mana. We could go double Lodestone, or we could play a Worm Coil plus a Monolith.
I'm in for double Lodestone. I'm kind of memeing about it, but they just didn't fight over that Force of Vigor. They have this Rhino on Suspend, Magus of the Moon. Their deck's built around 3 drops, and sometimes 3 drop into different. I like double Lodestone here, and then we could start raining Worm Coils on them.
Sounds good.
At some
It does
point.
turn off our Force of Negation, both from the blue card and mana perspective, but I think that's fine.
Yeah, the point is we won't need it. Okay. Lodestone first. Test if this resolves. Nice. And then we don't have to deploy the Monolith here, so I'm just not gonna.
Yep. You have to pay life for. Oh no, you don't. Never mind.
No, I did pay life.
No, but I thought you have to do it first. Otherwise, it just kind of like hangs up on you.
Oh, no. It worked out. I am at 14 with a ring on 3. I have a backup ring in hand. We can replace that. I'm not really worried about it unless they do something crazy here. If they have a follow-up Force of Vigor that takes out both Lodestones, that would be bad. That's like the thing I can imagine going wrong here.
Yeah, we're still in fine shape at that point, though. The
Okay,
rhinos
well,
are still going to cost 2 mana.
yep. Drew a saga. Let's see if the ring presents a win. Just drew a bunch of sagas. That is exactly the outcome you predicted might be bad. I'm just gonna serve for 10 here, see what they want to do about it. Can't even cast Violent Outburst, much less anything that would come out of it on the back end.
Yeah, I think I like just playing a golem.
Yeah, just loading up. Would you say? Okay, we have to go to cleanup anyway. Do I make my land drop, or and this is not a real strategic thing. I'm just goofing. Like, do
Yeah,
you make your land drop, or do you just clean up the 2 sagas?
it could possibly signal to your opponent that you're bad at the game, but I think they know you aren't, so your
Okay,
choice.
I don't know
However
what's
you
going
want to put
on.
it in the trash.
Yeah, I will. I will play one and then discard the other. Cycling Lorien revealed. Okay, they've got a volcanic island. Put the other saga in the graveyard. Now they can spend 3 mana, spend their entire turn to get these rhinos, which they're gonna have to do.
I wonder if we were supposed to just leave up Force of Negation that turn.
Maybe, and they can't force of will. I can draw 5 cards here and then play my backup ring. I'm safe from any clapback, and then we're
Yeah.
very likely to Wormcoil next turn.
Yeah.
We could still just draw a jewel and go nuts here. Didn't draw a jewel. We're not going nuts. We can cast Wormcoil though.
We have 7 mana. We can cast Warm Coil. It's
It might be worse than the ring. We've seen Fire Ice in their deck, and I'm about to go to 2. I think I should.
right.
Yeah, we
We
should
can
turn
go
all.
Ring plus Metamorph even for Lodestone number 4.
Heck yeah. Okay.
But we have to
Uh,
play Monolith. I mean, I guess land plus Petal still cast Monolith, so you're good either way. But
all right. I
oh, I
will.
didn't even see the copy artifact.
Oh,
Oh, that
oh,
thing costs a lot.
oh. There's more. Yeah, there are more cards over there. I also didn't see that.
Copy
Okay.
artifact costs 5, so we're not
Yep.
going to do that.
Okay. Lodestone or Lotus Petal. Lodestone Petal. If all right, the ring resolving requires all my lodestones in play. I was about to speculate if it's better to attack and make trades, not realizing that, but they have to block 2 of these if I attack anyway. So I'm just gonna chill.
Send the ring.
Yep, send the ring. Keep this one. And is there anything we could spike that would change our play if we draw now? Or should we just, like, we're gonna have to go to cleanup anyway this turn. Do we just save this?
Uh, yeah, I would just play Metamorph and pass.
Yeah, I guess like Voltaic Key or Manifold Key is the one draw in the deck that would be kind of good here.
Only +1 mana though. We wouldn't cast
Oh,
anything different.
yeah, we would get to keep Lotus Petal, but otherwise the turn's the same. All right, yeah, it's fine. Another one. Okay. They do have a bunch of trample damage, but they are unlikely to cast a spell successfully.
Yeah, we have a 1 ring trigger, so
Yeah. And they're probably being impeded a non-zero amount by their Magus at this point.
yeah.
They can't Lorien revealed. They can petty theft, or except that they can't because that costs 6. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're being probably constricted in some way by their Magus and extremely by our 4 lodestone columns. This is so stupid. They are attacking. Nope. I wonder if they forgot about the 1 ring, or they're just hoping that I'm trading, which I'm not going to do because my lodestones are better than their rhinos right now. And I'm going to take a draw on the end step. Rim Monolith. There's a lot of forces of negations. I think I just start casting Worm Coils here. Or do you ring at 4 life in this board state? I think that's one of the
It
most
will
likely.
allow us to attack, but then that trims a bunch of golems. Yeah, we got to get a Worm Coil into play. It doesn't feel great being off of a 1 ring. I'm not even sure that I would have tapped the 1 ring, but
yeah, I'm a sicko. You can't tell me not to draw cards. I won't listen.
I hear that.
They do have a 4-mana Force of Will here. All right. I will not be tapping the ring again.
So if we swing out, they only have one card. They have to triple chump.
So they block. Yeah, that's true.
And they go to 1.
Yeah, which turns off the fetch. 1 card in hand. They can kill 2 of the golems.
That's
Yeah,
true. Magus will be gone. Maybe we just chill
yeah, but
another
they can't
turn. What do you think?
fetch. If they go to 1, 2 of their lands are dead.
Oh, right.
Yeah, let's just make sure this is
Our
true.
lands don't have depletion counters, though.
We don't need
A lot
them. They're dead on board. And
Yeah.
yeah, I like just making this game over. So if they leave anything back, they die.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
And they trade with 2 of them, chump with 1, go to 1.
And with 1 card in hand, they can't even have like Spirit Guide plus Cascade Spell. Okay. They're at 1. And that's all we can do. Fingers crossed. We died a Minsk and Boo here. Except they can't cast it. No, okay.
Yeah, the best
not
thing
sure
they can
how we
do
lose.
is put us the 1 with fire.
Yeah, they could fire, and then we take a ring point, and then we just kill them.
Yep.
We got the scoop. Okay. Just a little combat math at the end there. Was that attack wasn't available last turn, right? Because we made another lodestone on the turn before. Yeah, I think they would have had a good block on the previous turn, and then adding a golem made them have a bad block. Okay, cool. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. We're on the play in round 2 against the Yorion strategy. You've been telling me to keep some hands that I would mulligan. No way you're going to tell me about this hand. Well, I guess we have a turn 1 ring. Maybe this is the hand. All right. Talk me out of it or into it. What are we doing?
It is risky, but it is super powerful. These days, Yorion likely means some sort of blue deck.
Yep.
At the same time, they play 80 cards, less likely to have force. Your handle is not TonyScapone, so they're not necessarily keeping hands based on force of will.
True.
I mean, I would jam the turn 1 ring and just...
Hell yeah.
It's kind of a force check hand.
Let's go. Dreams grip. Make it happen. I'm going to grip this dream so hard. All right. City of Traders. Lotus Petal. Blue. Untap target permanent. Bang. Resolves. You got nothing. It's in play. Count it, nerds. Keep every hand, even ones that seem completely unplayable, is the message here. Is there any wisdom to playing out this petal? I think no. That just turns on prismatic ending or whatever.
Yep.
Hey, I'm getting better at counting to 4, though. I saw that 1 ring before you told me about it. Wow, a planes.
Wow. It's happening.
Free money. Let's go. Let's get them. No wonder it resolved. Their deck is mono white. Okay. Can we have some action? All right. This is not ideal. We just get Saga Pump in here. Do you copy the ring to draw another card? I don't think so. You just save that thing. Or do you copy Lotus Petal?
That's interesting.
Okay,
you
so
do need the double blue.
All right, so if we go City of Traders, Ancient Tomb, that's 4. Lotus Petal's 5. If we spend 3 of it on Phyrexian Metamorph, we will go down to 2 mana, then up to 3. We're 1 mana short of a Jewel right now.
Yeah.
But we would have Jewel next turn if we invest in Lotus Petal now, or we could just let the ring draw 3 cards and try to cash us out in a more sane, normal way.
It's tough. Do we play Saga?
I think so. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's
I like the
yeah,
Saga.
let's play Saga. Let's copy Petal and pass.
Okay. I did not sign up for this league expecting to Phyrexian Metamorph my Lotus Petal on turn 2. But we're in the Matrix here. You got to find these lines. When cards don't matter and only velocity does, this is what we do with our lives. And the Ancient Tomb in hand gets Jewel through a Wasteland or a Thalia. We just have to hope they don't have Spirit of the Lab.
Yeah, that would be the worst thing for us. Though Thalia is still very annoying.
I hope they just play a Stoneforge Mystic or another Aether Vial or just Wasteland us. Any of those things are fine. Schadenport, yes.
Okay.
Oh no. The
No.
worst. Shit. Well, we can start making constructs.
Yeah, which is the majority of the time how we win this matchup. They're shockingly cold to Saga often.
Okay. Well, let's do that then. And if at any point we need to, we can copy 1 ring and clear this one.
We can also draw 1 extra card on their turn if we want to take 1 extra point of life, which I think I'm in for because I think we're going to wind up copying the 1 ring.
Okay. I can be convinced of that. Sagas are already bigger than their 3 power creature on turn 2. Wasteland is potent. Which one do they want to take? Going for the Saga. Okay.
It's a
I
bummer
prefer
that Chain of Vapor is not even because of Vial. We can't quite get rid of the spirit.
Yep. Okay. Draw my 1 card I'm allowed on the land. Another Petal. That makes the guy bigger.
We can copy Artifact on constructs. I think we're just going on construct beatdown.
Okay. Just double checking the deck for my own sanity of if there's anything cool to do with this Transmute artifact. Doesn't look like it.
No, we've played Mightstone and Weakstones in the past.
Yep.
And it's certainly defensible, but we are currently not.
Okay. So it costs 2 artifacts to make another construct. We're cool with that.
I think so.
All right.
We could transmute our 1 ring away so that we're not losing as much life.
Okay.
And get Metamorph and copy it.
Okay, I like that better.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that solves a lot of problems. Okay. It is still better to attack first, though. Because either way, we have...
No. Well, what if... Yeah, that's fine.
And if they vial something in, we're not doing this to leave back blockers anyway, and the construct will be bigger before we make a new construct.
Get blown out by Solitude, but there's really not much we can do about that.
Yep. Whatever.
I suppose we can... Actually, I'm not even sure what we would get here if that were the case.
And we could just put ring back to 0 and draw a card on their turn. But yeah, this is tough. Okay, vialing, Stoneforge Mystic. All right.
Oh, please get Kuldra. I always wind up copying Kuldra in these matchups. It's great.
Yeah, that is the spice that I'm here for. They got Kuldra. Good news. Sack the 1 ring, get Metamorph, copy Construct, and passing the turn. If they just move in, crunch for 8, we trade with Spirit of the Lab, and then copy Kuldra. Well, I guess we don't need Ancient Tomb if they have to tap Rashad Port to do this, but we still trade with Spirit of the Lab because this card is killing us.
I wonder if they attack with it.
Yeah, if they get too rowdy here, then I could just flip a Jewel into play and make them dead instead of copying Kuldra. Okay, here we go. Kuldra's in. Correctly, just attacked with that. No blocks. Mother, okay. No cards with colors in this deck except for the Chain of Vapor. Saga's a good hit. Okay, so now with Saga, we have a stable mana source that doesn't hurt. Does that change anything? If I tap Scary, oh, Saga's happening. Trying to figure out if there's a smart way to get Grim Monolith into play, and if that matters, I go to 3 if I tap Ancient Tomb. Constructs get smaller if I sack Lotus Petal.
But we can make another construct if we're willing to tap our Ancient Tomb. Like we can go use Ancient Tomb, play Monolith, tap it, transmute it away, get another Metamorph to make another construct, and then play Copy Artifact to copy Goldra. I don't know. Kind of shuts up. We might need that 2 life to activate Saga.
Yeah, I think holding back on going to Ham here is worth it because we have 2 constructs here, and the line you just described would cost Grim Monolith and Lotus Petal to put a construct into play. Like we're shrinking the constructs to make another one.
Yeah.
I think both going tall and going wide are relevant right now, and in order to do 2 things.
Yeah, so let's just copy Artifact, just use Scary and Saga. Copy the Coldra.
I just need Scary, right? Saga's not.
Right, sorry.
Okay. Scary, copy, give me that Cauldra, don't have a Flicker Wisp. Oh, Mom's Pro Black actually matters a lot right now. I can start chewing up actual constructs.
Yeah.
I don't think like, sacking Lotus Petal costs a blue source for this Grim Monolith. Oh shit, if I had played Grim Monolith pre-combat, they would have had to block at least one of these things. That's 15 damage, which is their life total. But they do have Mother to just jump with, and we're dead on the backswing. Okay, that's not actually a line. If I attack with one of these, what happens? Cauldra can get pro black. I have to take a trample here, take 1 block. I think we're dead to anything out of the Aether Vial anyway, and taking a poke here makes sense to me. I'm going for it.
Sure.
Yep, Vial has something, and we are deceased, or this is non-land, non-token. They can only hit Lotus Petal with this.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, it matters that 2 extra points of trample might actually get this done somehow, but or this is actually 3 extra damage because they have the apparition itself and the extra trample point. Oh wait, what? Phyrexian Metamorph is copying a token, but it is a card itself. Oh no, that was so unlucky. The rules are broken. All right, they win. Okay, so they had the card that mattered in their deck in their opening hand. Good job, opponent. Whatever. I'm looking at. Do you go full Dingus mode here, or do you like sending it against the white deck?
I don't think I'm playing the creatures. I just have too many ways of killing that stuff.
Okay.
We can likely just wiggle our way out and then kill them on the spot. So yeah, Otawara, Dismembers come in.
If you weren't here, I would probably cut 2 forces and an opal. Talk me through your plan.
No, I want the forces.
Okay.
It's what we are light on removal, and without the forces, we have that much less. We do have the Chain of Vapor, which is nice. I'm not thrilled with Dream's Grip.
Okay.
I don't think we necessarily need rituals per se. Yeah, I'm fine with this.
All right, sweet. Let's go. No Spirit of the Lab.
Although I will say, most of the time, this game is won by them overcommitting on stopping our combo and us making a construct and then copying it a bunch of times. Kind of like we just did, but we were pretty late in doing so. And that Wasteland getting the second construct was rough.
Right. I mean, we have a construct plan here and Force Blue card, but if they just have Wasteland, we're not doing much. What do you think about this?
We have Force, we have 3 lands and a burst of mana from Grim Monolith, so more sagas are good, any non-blue action is good, any removal is good. The question for me is, do we open with Grim Monolith off of Ancient Tomb to absorb a potential Wasteland, or do we just play Saga and make them have it? I think I'm more inclined to play Saga and make them have it.
That's what I was gonna do. Yeah.
It also prevents them from playing Aether Vial. Also, if they have a Deafening Silence, they might just try and slam it, and then honestly, we might even let it go. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
we'll see. Now they're on 5. They're 80 card deck that needs very specific cards for this matchup.
They went to 5, and if you go to 5, do you keep Wasteland in case they have Saga? I don't think so. And like you said, if they, so the pros and cons here, if they have Wasteland, we just play turn 1 over again, and we could still play Grim Monolith. If they don't have Wasteland, we're in the Monolith. Another Monolith. I'm just gonna pump out Sagas until they make me stop.
We want to think about possibly playing Monolith because of
I may have clicked through
Dahlia,
already, but
no, it's okay. I don't
okay.
think we should, but it's not 100% obvious here, in my opinion. It's also possible they're on black and have Bowmaster, in which case you want an artifact in play.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't like the I don't like the theory of pivoting off of my plan in a way that actually hurts me in case they have a specific card. Like if we just play Grim Monolith that turn and then they just do nothing, do we burn off that burst of mana to make a construct? I think we force this.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, for sure, force this. I'll give you an example in which it is 100% appropriate, and at this point I've made the mistake enough to know I need to stop making that mistake. Playing against any Bowmasters deck, you would play out a Grim Monolith and then make your construct.
Yeah, making sure the X2 survives the first ping is relevant gaming.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so
we can get key and just pop off here. I wouldn't. Trying to think if we make construct 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, 2, 4, 6. We still have enough to. We can make a construct and jewel. I don't know if that's better than just jeweling. What's nice is we do already have transmute.
Right. Yeah. So, what are the gates? There is like the one ring in the deck as far as things that would benefit us to not start jeweling on 0 mana. I don't think we make a construct here.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
All right, let's get
I think
key
that's
and
the
rip it.
coward's play.
Key, monolith.
I would play jewel next to play around trap.
Okay. We use the key now to get there.
Yep.
Jewel. No mind break traps allowed. Grip full of cards. And transmute for another jewel here.
I think we can actually go infinite with this relic.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Talk me through it.
So mostly what you need is 2 mana rocks to really go off with Paradox Engine.
All right, we got
one
3.
to actually sack, yeah,
Yep.
and 2 already in play. 1 to sack so you can get the engine, and 1 so that when you cast your spell it untaps and off you go. So we'd be playing Transmute now is fine. Getting engine, play Petal, untap her stuff, make a bunch of mana, play Relic, untap her stuff, make a bunch of mana, play Monolith, draw cards with Relic, rinse and repeat, draw our deck.
Okay. So we're just transmuting away the jewel for
Correct,
Paradox
yes.
Engine.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And we have a construct in play that may very well just be a 2020 before we're done here.
Right. Although at this point we're going to wind up with infinite Emrakul's.
Talk to me about Emrakul. Why is that the win con in the deck?
Mostly because we can take advantage of it. A deck like if you had seen the PO deck that we were playing before,
I just missed some mana. My bad. But
it's
carry on.
okay. You've got a bunch. Played Emery, right? We don't play Emery, so we don't have to worry about Emrakul shuffling back in. My primary requirement for a win con for these types of decks is that you're able to beat a 1-ring trigger. And although technically Emrakul does not, when you can cast it multiple times, take a bunch of turns, make sure all their permanents are gone, and draw your deck so you have a grip full of forces, and your own 1-ring trigger, barring like Doomsday, having a nut hand but then they're not getting through forces anyways. It beats the One Ring. I'll put it that way.
Sure.
And then the benefits that you get from the card over something like Thassa's Oracle or the Laser Beam, Aetherflux Reservoir, is it's Thoughtseize proof, right? It shuffles back into your deck, as well as just getting major bonus points against Painter.
Uh-oh. Do they have a 1-drop that matters here? Mother of Runes. No, they're just getting their F6 value. That's allowed. Okay, Relic of Sauron popping off here, and I'm a fan. I'm a believer. And we can jewel into this. Opponent likely to just make us do all this shit, unfortunately.
So at this point, I wouldn't tap Relic anymore or Key because it just takes too much time. We don't need it. So just kind of using the auto tapper every time you cast a spell, just tap some monoliths, just ignore the Relic, just play the jewel.
Okay. And burn off my floating mana, or my floating colored mana. Does that matter?
It doesn't matter.
All right.
We are going to draw the deck to the point where we get Emrakul, have enough mana to cast Emrakul. Then we're going to cast Emrakul, of course. And then we're going to cast a Phyrexian Metamorph, copy the Emrakul, Legend Rule, keep the Metamorph, let the Emrakul go into your graveyard and shuffle back into your deck, at which point you can draw back into it and recast it. But whatever is going to win the game as fast as possible here, I would do that.
Okay.
So if you want to just like make a 20/20 unblockable, whatever, just make sure you're taking those game actions and not wasting your time by extra clicks on Manifold Key. Just ignore Manifold Key and ignore Relic.
Okay.
If you hold down on W and click on the Mana Rock, it'll auto tap it.
All right. I will hold down W. People are always yelling at me in the chat for missing these shortcuts, and whatever. What do you want from me? Defaults to white mana. That's cool. And there's Ring. Now we have the whole deck.
Yep. So Ring, tap a couple Mana Rocks, cast the spell. I wouldn't even at this point you have more than enough mana, so you don't have to be OCD about it. Tap 1 or 2, tap none, whatever. Just get through the deck. Use your One Ring.
All right, yeah. Mana is no longer my gate at all.
Yeah, I would actually just go One Ring, spell, ignore everything at this point. You will have to make sure that you don't deck yourself and that you do play another One Ring so that you don't kill yourself with the One Ring.
Sure. All right.
Once we're ready to actually pass the turn.
There's Emrakul.
Yeah, just cast her. They might even just scoop. In fact, you can put a couple more artifacts into play and make this construct unblockable as well.
All right, let's do that. I'll start with this. Petal. Opal's not another artifact. Jewel's fine. 12 cards left.
Play Metamorph.
There is Metamorph. I've had a monolith this whole time. This is 20 from the construct, and then Emrakul still chilling, just in case.
And then you can just key unblockable.
Target creature cannot be blocked. I choose this one.
And
while I still
just
have
F6.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I probably clicked a little more than I needed to. But we got 7 minutes left for a game. That's plenty.
Should be.
Okay. Any changes to the plan on the play draw? Still like the deck as it is?
Yeah, I think we're good to go.
I like when decks aren't too tricky about that. It's just like, these are the cards that are relevant. These are the cards that are not. Doesn't get better.
Yeah. I'm of the opinion that people put way too much weight into the whole play draw, changing your cards. I mean, there are appropriate things to do. I just think on average, people lean too hard on different boarding for play and draw.
Yeah, that's kind of like the bell curve meme where like the dummy at the bottom is like bad cards out, good cards in. Then in the middle, it's like, no, it's a careful dance of play draw and card equity depending on tempo. And then the smart person at the top is like bad cards out, good cards in.
It's like the brainstorm meme all over.
Right.
Hold it forever. Never cast it on the end step.
Okay, we've got a turn 2 ring and Force of Will. Wasteland's tough. We don't care about Thalia or I mean Spirit of the Lab would be annoying. Are you in for this?
I would take it, yeah.
All right, let's go.
We have 18 more lands in the deck as well. They've mulliganed again.
Stopped at 6 this time. Fairly fair. Mother of Runes, don't care. Another ring. Pass. And if they have Wasteland and Rashadenport and slow us down here, that's kind of annoying, but we can develop. There's a Wasteland. Goodbye. Sucks that City of Traders is the land, too.
It's all right. We'll draw a land here.
Yep,
We haven't
Sapphire's
drawn
scary.
a land. Yeah, that'd be nice.
We haven't drawn a land yet in this league. It's time. Magic's hard. Well,
Perfect.
we have to play our land. Grim Monolith moves us in the right direction. Ancient Tomb or City of Traders are the best draws.
They have no 2-mana play.
Doesn't look like it. Oh no. All right. What's the discard? The backup ring?
Probably just a jewel.
All right.
We haven't, in the spots where we just needed to draw land in X amount of turns, we've not drawn a land in any of those draws.
It's true. I'm gonna pitch Copy Artifact here, I think. I think Metamorph just is more flexible than that. Yeah, in the classic Death and Taxes lineup, it's like they do one small thing, and within any normal range of variance, you beat it anyway. But then this happens. Okay.
Yep. Okay, that's a great draw.
All right, that sets us up for next turn. I don't think, yeah, Metamorphing the Monolith doesn't make any sense. It's the same 3 mana, and we lose our blue card for Force. Okay, they didn't have another Wasteland right now. I think we have to force this.
I agree.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna resolve a ring. They got 2 cards left over there.
Hopefully we draw mana and can just cast Coveted Jewel. We did not. That is the opposite of mana.
Okay, that land might be helpful next turn, but right now we're chilling. Okay, we've
Hopefully
got
they
protection.
haven't been sandbagging a spirit. I mean, they had multiple turns where they had mana and just like literally didn't cast it.
Yeah, they've just been attacking with Mother of Runes. It would be really weird to have a 3/1 in your hand that you didn't put into play yet. I mean, they're tutoring now. They're going to have it if they want it. They have the land. Do we get a turn to operate?
We do. We should be able to find something very potent, or at least some removal. And they attacked with Mom.
Chain of Vapor is in the grip now. We have 5 mana available in the...
We actually have 6. Which, no, we don't. I was going to say Chain of Vapor nets 1, but we have to actually use the pedal to do it.
Yeah, so 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess we just pass and...
I would probably play City and untap Monolith.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Gets
sure.
us closer to Jewel.
All right, yeah, I'll buy that. City, Re-City, Monolith. Cool.
The only problem is I can't imagine they're actually going to attack with Mom again.
Yeah, now that they have something to protect, they're going to chill. Unless they just somehow believe that the deck plays 0 removal at all. Come on, get in there, Mom. Take your piece. Coward. A coward and a wuss. Okay, here we are. Another Monolith. Shame, because we did have Jewel here.
We're getting somewhat close to Emrakul. I would just play the Monolith out.
Somewhat close to Emrakul makes me so happy. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So we'll probably wind up drawing an extra card from the One Ring. We'll take some damage, and then we can start ring walking and hopefully find a second removal piece.
Yeah, we'll be at 3 at the end of this turn cycle. I guess I should probably ring now in case we find Dismember and we can save some damage. All right, not a Dismember. They didn't grab Yori and just left their mana open. Does that do anything?
No, this is another spot that Might Stone and Weak Stone would be excellent.
Can we?
We can Emrakul.
Yeah, I was thinking, can we cast Emrakul here? It's probably close.
We need. I guess we don't have double blue, huh? We need to.
We would have to jewel. That's the blue. And then
3/6 Jewel, Transmute away the One Ring, get Engine. I think we have.
+1. And we'd have Chain of Vapor that we can cast and start untapping stuff. We could even chain
Yeah.
our own monolith to go up the chain.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Coveted jewel.
Or
Also,
like, yeah, you got it.
the way this game played out, opponent, I just feel like they're gonna have Mindbreak Trap. Their hand just was so bad for so long. What have they been holding on to?
Right. Let's see.
Engine.
Tap that city.
Yep.
Click on the colorless in the top left. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. And then
we can actually metamorph or chain. Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna chain monolith, and we can do the sack bounce our thing trick. Sack the land.
Bounce the petal.
Bounce monolith. I would like to sack a land. Target petal.
Yep.
Monolith. Mana. This is enough to Emrakul. And
yep.
I mean,
and then we can play the One Ring as well so that they can't kill us on the crackback.
At Moment of Truth, do you have Mindbreak Trap? Do you have Solitude? I mean, they held up 5 and didn't reach for your end when they could have. It seems like a likely Solitude situation.
Well, actually, yeah, don't play a One Ring. Never mind.
Ugh. Yeah, they have it. Okay. Nothing I can do here.
No, we take a draw step.
And I can Metamorph Solitude.
Yeah.
I can play One Ring and Metamorph Solitude here. I'm supposed to make blue. Clock's getting dangerous, but
yeah, I mean,
and they take the jewel because they're gonna attack unblocked.
Well, we get another turn, so we might have something to say about that.
Copy Solitude, target Spirit. They're gonna protect it. Wish I could we have no, the Solitude showed up later. I was wondering if we could have done this without the Chain of Vapor. And now Emrakul's gone. How do we even win?
We gotta copy their stuff.
Okay, that's not gonna happen in 2 minutes. All right, looks like they're gonna get us here with the classic not drawing a land in 7 turns play.
Let's see what we draw. They don't really draw cards off a Jewel though. It's at least one good thing.
All right, we still have this Emrakul turn. I forgot about that. And we don't get to draw any extra cards here.
No, just pass it over.
I was not supposed to play the ring that turn. I forgot about our bonus turn. Like now we're not under ring protection. Not that it does a whole lot here, but yeah, that was a mistake for me.
I would draw a card in their upkeep with the One Ring and then just F6. Yeah, like we didn't need to Chain of Vapor. We had Metamorph. And then we would have had Chain of Vapor to... Well, you can't save your Emrakul with it. But we did draw into... What did we draw into? I thought we drew into some other removal. I guess that's not true.
They just sammed up Solitude.
Oh, right, the Solitude, right. We copied the Solitude.
Yeah.
So we would have been able to kill Spirit.
Okay.
Yikes.
This isn't happening in 2 minutes, even if it's happening at all. Okay. Tough beats. They had Spirit of the Lab game 1. Just blind out of their 80 card deck. Had exactly the best card against us, and then just did not produce 4 mana until turn 5, turn 6, and it still came down to having one exact card. I don't know. I don't feel too bad about that performance. There's a grindy one. You always come on here with these turbo combo decks and we play 45-minute matches. Been hoodwinked. On to the next round. If you're looking to run a CEDH or 1v1 tournament, Eminence Gaming has your back with Command Tower. With Command Tower's intuitive tournament manager dashboard, you can handle decklist submission and player management with just a few clicks. Players just need to scan the event's QR code for access to the full tournament bracket, including seamless pairings and real-time standing updates. Take the guesswork out of tournament organizing. Try Command Tower for your next event. We're on the play in round 3. I see a bunch of mana. We don't have turn 2 anything, but we're ready to cook on turn 3. I'm into this.
It's really close. It's a bummer that we don't have an actual soul land. Usually you like to go tap land and then into like an ancient tomb or something. But yeah, I'm in for it. It does feel a little bit like a mulligan already because of the Emrakul. But there's some things to like about it. We have 4 mana and some 4-drops that we want to cast.
Yep, opponent has quickly mulled to 5 over there. We might be dead on turn 1. I'm gonna lead on the scary, as blue is more useful than black in our deck. I would lead on black if I suspected Wasteland more heavily. Ooh, hello.
We did draw it. Do we want to? We're playing against Flooded Strand. Its city is very awkward in spots like this with a tap land.
Hey, next turn we can go Relic plus One Ring if we wait. I like the
Yeah.
patience.
Yeah, I'm in for waiting.
Okay, what's this 5-card Flooded Strand and doing? A Worldly Gaze. Okay, so they are some BS
Blue Dredge.
graveyard deck.
This is the Mafuz Van Gogh Blue Dredge. They do play Force of Will. They do play Daze.
Okay.
In full, typically.
All right. Well, they have come up with a Narcomoeba. Good for you. So if we're forced 4 days, we could go for the double spell, Relic into One Ring. Relic is a draw engine, but much worse, especially when we have mono depletion lands. But if we play into Daze this turn, like we can play around Daze for the whole game, or we could shove into Daze this turn.
I kind of like playing Relic, playing City, playing Relic, and then playing Metamorph, copying Relic, and then we can just like jam double ring next turn.
All right. I like that.
They want to counter this, that's fine. They want to read it, that's expected.
I think if you play this card in paper, you have to get a non-English copy. Is there like an Elvish version or something like truly heinous that no human can read?
I don't know. I usually play it upside down on my opponent's mat.
Yeah, here's this. So they can flashback Gaze at minimum here.
You'd be surprised how often you do hardcast Emrakul.
I mean, like, it's already happened once, and we're close to it here.
Oh, I mean, like not even through the combo. Just
okay, just put it into play.
Mana rocks and lands the tap for 2. Yeah,
they've got a Cabal Therapy in the graveyard, and Narcomoebas to spare. I hope they're not on the read that the One Ring is our payoff, because we've got 2 of them, and it's really bad to lose them.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's kind of an oversight. We probably should have played a One Ring. They have 1 Cabal Therapy?
Yes. So they have to snipe it here.
Yeah, but even like a Brainstorm here would be pretty devastating. Card is so good in this deck.
Oh yeah. Dredge with Brainstorm is basically cheating.
Draw 3, perfect. Put 2 of my choice back on top of my deck. That's what I wanted to do.
Yep. Just put your Grave Trolls back to be dredged, or Narcomoeba, Bridge from Below. There's so many cards in Dredge that you don't want in your hand, and every time Dredge innovates Brainstorm, this is like a thing that happens on a pretty normal cycle. Okay, his opponent a sniper.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna hit it. They might name
Transmute
Jewel.
Artifact, got him. Okay, were they sandbagging one in their hand? No, we are getting to our turn and we get to double ring. Okay, nice. Ring on the stack. Let's test this 4-card hand. Daze doesn't work. They know we've got 2 if they want to go into the Force of Will zone. They do want to enter the Force of Will zone. Pitching a Daze. We were smart to play around it. Opal lets me play around Daze without losing a depletion land. It gives up the 1 piece of information we've been hiding, but I think that's worth the cost. All right, were you on double force here? No. Good. Draw.
Oh.
Okay. Do your transmute science here. Are they just dead, or do we have to pass and do something next turn?
We don't have a spell is the problem.
Okay.
So engine doesn't actually result in something. If we did, we could probably at least, we could just pop off.
All right. Well,
But
we have protection from everything. I'm gonna pass. They dredged. There's Dread Return. Do they play Thassa's Oracle?
no,
Are they that deep? No. Okay, good.
no, they usually play one Hogak, and they're just beating you up combat.
Okay, cool. We have already tested their hand, and they failed that test. And now they have a Grave Troll in their hand as the card we know about. They just gazed a bridge into the graveyard. I mean, they can basically put lethal on the board like a fox here.
Yeah, it's usually what happens, but then we either play another ring or we just kill them.
Yep. I love when Dredge decks, their Dread Return target is the Grave Troll. That's so elegant.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, Relic, draw 2 cards, backup ring. So we have 4, 6, 8, 9 mana here. We can transmute for Paradox Engine, then just cast a spell, and we're running. Is that
We're
the plan?
popping.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, if they do happen to counter transmute, we can at least ring walk them and hopefully pull it off next turn. We can probably even activate a relic.
Okay. Start with a transmute. Sack this bonus relic. Get the Paradox Engine. A 1. And now we have this. Play relic, and off we go. Bunch of rings, another.
I really wish there were a faster mana or a faster way to make mana out of these relics.
Yeah, you can't even. The W trick doesn't even work.
No.
Okay. I think I would like a jewel here and let it rip. I'll float mana on the way out.
Honestly, I would just get Grim Monolith because you're going to be able to make mana a lot quicker. Or I guess you can get a jewel. Yeah, it's the same thing. As long as you have something that you can just like tap for mana quickly.
Jewels in there. Draw 3. Make mana.
Just copy artifact.
All right, cool. They believe we win now. All right. Narrowly faded Dredge, 1 Cabal Therapy away from death there. Do you like Force of Negation and try to combo, or do you try to engage this deck in combat?
I don't engage in combat. They tend to be able to make an incredibly overwhelming board when they do. Their sideboard doesn't really line up with us. I have been seeing some Mindbreak traps here and there. But other than that, they tend to play ley lines, sometimes both of the void and of
White?
sanctity. Yes,
Okay.
of white. And then they have like bounce spells to be able to bounce opposing leyline of the voids, and none of that really matters to us.
Okay.
Is there anything that I like to bring in? Lodestone could be reasonable, but it's just too ineffective in combat, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that card. If we could turn 1 it reliably, but we both aren't that reliable at getting 4 mana on turn 1, and also they're a Daze Force deck and they're on the play.
Yep.
And after that, I don't think it matters. So just
Yeah,
same 60, hit submit.
We have Chain of Vapor. Is that a card we still want? Would I rather have Force of Negation? I mean, Force of Negation is not textless.
Yeah, it hits Cabal Therapy.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure. I mean, if we get rid of Chain of Vapor, we have literally nothing to bounce anything, but I literally don't think there is anything that we care about. So yeah, I think I'd just rather have a Force.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's try it. I like this hand. Turn 2 ring. Or we can slow it down if we want to play around days. Or this. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, it's imperfect.
Around days.
I think it's likely to get disrupted, but we have a lot of like solid mana underneath us. So
yeah, this blue card draw also is huge. Now we have a Force.
Yes.
B-Storm right in the middle of my combat step. I love that. Just honest about what's going on here. I'm also pretty glad B-Storm happened before there was a Dredger in the graveyard.
Yes.
Okay, they can gaze away the Brainstorm cards, set up a Dredge here. Stinkweed Imp, Bridge from Below, placed in the graveyard. Narcomoeba, no therapy yet. That land doesn't cast therapy. Does cast Brainstorm though. Ugh. You force this.
They have 3 cards. They have an island.
And if we don't force this, we're never forcing anything.
If they take the One Ring, we can then play Monolith and Transmute, but then we don't have a force. If we force, we don't have Transmute. Yeah, I think it's more likely that forcing is gonna work out for us. If they have a force back, sure, it stinks, but at least they don't have cards at that point.
Yeah.
Not that they necessarily need cards because they're drawing 6 a turn.
Yeah, and that could have just been bait, and then they cast a Brainstorm right now and we die. All right, cool. We got away with that. Mox Opal's pretty nice. So Urza Saga, Grim Monolith, Lotus Petal plays around Daze and gets a One Ring into play.
Let's do it.
And we can't play around Daze and Mind Break Trap here. It's one or the other. And I'm gonna pick Daze. Even though they probably would have just Dazed that force. Shit. Well, got me. Got a Saga in play though. You're dredging. I'm chilling.
I don't think there's any place other than Moto Leagues that Mind Break Trap is appropriate.
No.
In a deck like this. Or just in general as well, for the most part.
They got a Kiora's Dismissal, a bounce, an enchantment, and it has Strive. So they can bounce any number of enchantments. Fascinating. Please cast an Archimeeba. All right. Otherworldly Gaze, pretty good. Found a Cabal Therapy and a Dread Return. They can have a big turn here. Who's this targeting? Me or you? I can't even tell.
Us. And the arrow near the icon is red. Yeah.
Good guess. You were doomed to fail. My hand is blank. The most powerful state. My hand is no longer blank. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not there. Play the Bog and just ship it. Hope we survive the turn. They can Dread Return Grief at minimum here. Hit a Cabal Therapy again. They can rule out the ring. I would have played it. Now they actually do get to kind of solve the Sudoku puzzle for what could be in my hand. And therapy is just worth doing anyway because they want the zombies. And they actually can't miss here because they have 2 therapies and they can Dread Return Grief.
Do we even make a token, or do we just... We're threatening one so they won't attack, but is it worthwhile to make one and blowing this petal?
Probably. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll have 6 mana next turn and 5 on subsequent turns. I think if we don't put something into play, they just get to tee off on our face for the rest of the game.
Yeah, but what is it doing? It's blocking a 2/2?
It's blocking a 2/2 every turn until they find critical mass. And they did name the correct card here. They successfully solved the logic puzzle.
I can't imagine they're not going to put like 10 2/2s into play next turn. Oh, they are attacking.
I think we do it. So this would be a 3/3 if we use Petal, and a 4/4 if we use Scary, but we need Scary. Okay.
Yeah, we have a ton of mana anyways. You gotta tap.
Figured it out. And all of these things matter at least a little bit. Like every 2 points, every thing that goes a little bit wide. Like that's a thing they don't have to Dread Return with.
Oh, that's a bummer. This is where a Candy Trail would be nice.
Yeah. Guess we
I would
just get
key. Yeah.
And I'm gonna apply pressure here. Because the key can make things unblockable if I can poke through to a critical mass. They're actually out of dredgers. They just took a natural draw.
We do have a force if we need it. Oh, Stinkweed Imp.
Okay. Yeah, like if they're at the cast Stinkweed Imp phase of the game, and they can Cabal Therapy, make a bunch of zombies, Dread Return something. But this is a spot where just unblockable 3 times might get the race one.
Sure. We can untap this Monolith.
Yep. That's happening. And they didn't attack. Yeah, if they had attacked, I also could have untapped Construct and blocked 2 things. Oh. Well, well.
Do we have enough to cast both in the event that we have to? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then filter. Yeah, we'd still have 1 mana floating post transmute though, so it would neuter our transmute, effectively countering it. But I say we cast it.
Okay.
You're gonna want to tap your monolith beforehand. 3, so 2. We'll be getting Jewel, so you don't have to use key. We can tap Opal if it just resolves.
All right. Have to burn off the scary and hope we
I
get
guess
there.
we could use key to filter, but yeah, I think using scary's better.
Okay. They just checked for transmute, and this did resolve.
Oh wait. Do we definitely want to hit monolith?
Okay,
We
so
might. Yeah. We're good. Yeah, I would use monolith or
okay,
sack monolith.
and get Jewel and hope for the best. Drawing 3. Please be good. Oh yeah. Metamorph.
Is this is spell what, number 2? So next spell is trappable.
Well, good
Grip
news.
is.
I don't have more spells.
Oh
Okay,
boy.
so they're gonna hit us and take 2 Coveted Jewels next turn and dredge their entire deck. I don't think there's a way out of the or they're at 15. Can I make both of these unblockable with Dream's Grip? Is it here? And
Oh
yeah, I
yes.
think we're very close to that if we're not there already. So Petal,
I would use Peat Bog,
yes, Peat Bog,
a monolith.
and I have my land drop in a city right here.
Yeah.
All right, so city monolith. If I go 1, 2, 3, unblockable, and then blue, untap target permanent.
This is outrageous.
Yeah, this rules. If they have the force now, I'm quitting Magic.
I
And
think we had the force back. Or no, we don't have enough mana to do it all.
okay, in for 16, exactly lethal.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
gotta find those lines. This deck does everything.
Well played.
Let's go. The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is available exclusively through Coalesce Apparel. This Magic Player-owned business is a staple of our community. They keep this channel on the air, and it's my pleasure to partner with them for this product. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market. They have awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll to get 10% off your order only at coalesceapparel.shop. We're on the play for round 4. Have we finally found an unkeepable hand?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we've kept a lot of borderline ones, but this one actually doesn't do anything. This one rules.
Yeah, it's a little risky, but I'm in for it.
Yeah, it's a big saga hand, but we have the fun of key and monolith. I think we bottom grip here.
Yep, I'm in for it.
All right, saga gaming commences now, and there is no backup land, so please don't disrupt it. Island is their play. I think we just send it on maximum mana available here.
Yep, I think we can make double constructs next turn too. Oh, they're gonna
That
counter
was
this.
smart.
Okay.
Pitching Mystical Dispute, so we're playing as Rhinos. Nobody else has that card in their deck. Okay, so these sagas are both going to eat poo. Not really doing anything. Probably tutoring Opal here. Oh, I'm getting iced. Clever.
Sure.
I was unlikely to use that anyway. Hell yeah, Emrakul. What's up, girl?
It's possible we have to get Petal. And the next one gets Opal.
Okay, that makes sense. And pass the turn.
We can make a construct as well.
Yep. It will be the same size as one Rhino.
Yep. We can also copy it. Hopefully we just draw land, so we don't have to use Petal.
Every time you say that, we don't draw a land for 6 turns, so I hope we don't draw a land. Just putting that counter juju out there. They just revealed a lot of cards. 1, 2, 3. They revealed 3 forces in 31 cards. That makes me feel bad about the number of forces in their hand. Dream's Grip.
Grip.
Does that do anything?
It can go up 1 additional mana if we're willing to totally sacrifice our scary. If we had more mana, we could make 2 constructs with it, which is pretty sweet.
Yep.
But
Unfortunately, we don't.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
now we
we
have
just
to
make it.
decide if Relic of Sauron or 1 construct token is going to be more relevant this game. I think Relic sets us up to actually spike and maybe do something.
We have 10 power on board, though. 4 cards in hand. I think we can actually wind up stabilizing.
All right.
I don't think it would take much to stabilize, right? Make a construct, 3, and then we have 4/4.
Okay. We can actually make 2 4/4s here.
Yeah. Which is probably worth doing.
Oh, actually, if I had Dream Script and spent this scary, we could have had 2 5/5s.
Right.
Oh, I could still just script the scary.
Yeah.
Like if we're willing to just delete everything to try to stabilize the current board state.
Oh, we can grip scary. That's 2, 3. No, I'm sorry, I'm miscounting.
Yeah,
For some reason I was thinking we could play Relic.
we're 1 short of Relic. All
Yeah.
right. I think I want to make 2 5/5s.
Yeah, let's do it.
This feels horrendous and it's going to be hard to come back from, but it's probably the best chance to actually play the game.
That feels like a force.
Yeah, I mean, they flipped half their deck and only showed us half their forces. Yeah, force pitching, force even, the middle finger, the biggest middle finger. Do we have to keep playing this game?
We're
I
gonna
guess.
trade with a Rhino, take 6. If we draw like Soul Land or Monolith into Ring, yeah.
All right, I guess we will play it out.
There's a fair amount of draws that I think we can scoop to, though. No, I'd keep going.
Okay. Yeah, that opponent had that super heads up read on knocking out the Grim Monolith and then collapsing the entire hand that we laid out. Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I would tap Opal, play Monolith, play Relic.
Opal, Monolith, Mystical Dispute.
All
right.
Okay.
I'm done. They got me. Okay. We've done this before. This is the 13 card boat coming in.
Yep. Send in the clowns.
Let me see if I remember this map. The grips and chain. I think one of the opals, one of the copies, and the relics.
I keep copy.
Oh, you keep. Oh, right. One of the transmutes. And
yep, and I think last time you took another one of the opals.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
This looks like a plan to me. Back to Lodestone Gaming. That is a game store in the Midwest. I believe Ryan Overturf owns it, or did at one point. This hand, and I like the double force. I hate the 1 land, and they have Wasteland.
Ugh.
I want to mulligan this. This feels so bad. I guess they are pretty bad at applying pressure if they're using their resources to constrict us, and the double force is powerful. All right, maybe I'm in.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to keep it. This matchup gets a lot harder on a mulligan.
Okay.
And this will buy us a lot of time. We might just not draw lands or get wastelanded and lose, but
that's what we signed up for.
I don't want to draw lands anyways, right?
Yeah. Never interested in a land. Oh, they're doing the 3-for-1 to put a Rhino on the stack here.
That's very good for us.
Oh, it's Magus. I mean, we care about this at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay. That just went away with no extra fight. All right. Good fight.
Just immediately draw Saga.
Yeah. Get paid for our good plays. And, deck, I'm done with lands now. I have enough. Certainly don't give me another one.
Nah. Forget
Who
lands.
Who needs it? Okay. Protected One Ring or start going in on Sog tokens. I think we want the ring.
I think we want tokens because we're going to follow it up with...
My issue is that if we make 2 constructs, we have no lands left.
Yeah. Force of Vigor could be an issue as well.
Like,
Could make one construct.
but we can make
Untap.
that construct next turn.
That's true.
I think the ring is our best chance to hit land drops the rest of this game.
Yeah, I'm in for it.
Ring. Unfortunately, Mystical Dispute is on here if they fight. It's not on as the first layer, but if they force, if they hardcast it off of the Spirit Guide, that's the nuts. Okay. Force, pitching, Metamorph.
Yep, they only have 2 cards now. This one's in.
Oh, they have 0
okay.
cards, but so do we, actually, because these are going to go away. All right, I'm going to see what I draw and then decide if I'm just all in Construct Gaming.
Ooh.
Like, we could tutor key here and then just have mana, or we can make a 2/2 construct.
We still have to use Scary, though, to cast this Monolith.
Yeah, we lose blue mana regardless here.
I think I just want to make a construct and probably get a key. And then just at some point we're going to draw a non-land.
All right, Sicko Gaming begins now. And a full key.
This is the benefit of having 15 lands to tap for 2 mana.
Yep. They didn't cast Shardless Agent.
I was waiting for the immediate rhinos.
Easy game. Okay, here we go. Please don't Violent Outburst.
No, suddenly we have 7 mana.
Yep, all right. That worked out pretty well. I'm going to play this, attack, and then make another construct.
Yeah, I like that.
And we're well out of reach of soft permission at this point. Wow, why does it look crazy? Oh, because it's also an enchantment. It has like the Journey into Nyx frame on it. That's cool. MTGO is so sweet sometimes. Ooh, that's awkward.
I think we play it.
Yeah, for sure. The Monolith still does the thing. Goodbye, City. And this is guaranteed 5/5s next turn, which is then bigger than Rhinos and also bigger than their life total. If we can fade Force of Vigor, we're in good shape. I spoke it into existence. Okay. I mean, they're still at 2, and they left our mana engine in place because they had to. Sick. Monolith. Untap. Switch it to 1. And this construct is unblockable if it needs to be. So they do actually have to remove it. They can't just put creatures in front of it. That's not it. Brotherhood's End revealed. That's a card that they have access to. And they're hoping I just don't know how my cards work. But I do. Are we in there? 0 permanent gaming. We came out ahead. And we actually didn't reveal any of this juke. As far as they know, we're still just a combo deck.
Yeah, that's awesome. They play a non-zero amount of Hull Breacher, usually.
Okay. All right. Same deck, right back in.
But since we took out a lot of cards that draw cards, I think we're unlikely to get got by that.
Yeah, Hull Breacher gets squeezed by Golem. We can force it, and then we just don't have to activate the ring if they're representing it. I like this, I guess.
I think it's good enough.
Yeah, well enough. At all points, I wish Peat Bog was Ancient Tomb, and I wish City of Traders was Ancient Tomb. But turns out you only get 4 of those.
Now we get double force again.
Yep.
Sweet.
All right.
Oh man, double Spirit Guide, please.
Yeah, please do it.
Although if they have force backup with it, that's a problem. Not if it's Agent though.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, it is a bummer.
And they can just decide
They
if
might
that's a
need
mana
it,
source,
though.
though.
Yeah.
Agent, Force of Negation comes in here. I think we pitched the Transmute. That one's the least useful blue card.
Agreed.
Okay. Well, I get Peat Bog for 1 turn. Hopefully they prioritize Urza Saga over the Bog. But the Wasteland.
That was a good draw.
That was a really good draw.
We do have a lot of lands in the deck. 19 is pretty high for a deck like this.
And they continue tapping the Wasteland to cast spells. I like that. I'm going to continue Force of Willing their spells. And I'm going to try to stick a ring next turn. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, just add sagas to the board. I have a replacement soul land now. We saw Brotherhood's End. I don't need to play out this pedal. All right, cool. Wasting the Saga. That was going to die anyway. All right, now we have to be slightly cognizant of Hull Breacher. I mean, we could just tap this. Worst case scenario, they get 2 treasures.
Um,
We could also dump out the Petals and City and just go into Saga Gaming.
I like that. And then we can just end step the One Ring, or if they fetch, we can. Well, they could have a Spirit Guide, but
Yeah, okay. I like mitigating risk. I'm back in on that. Going for it. Cool. Oof. Well, here comes this.
okay. Yeah,
This
a
is
lot
a
of
big
those.
clap of damage. Wow,
Is
they
this
just
their
revealed.
Is that the last one?
They've gone through 3 so far. I don't know if the stock list plays 3 or 4.
Well, sometimes people board one out.
Okay, make a 4/4. Do we want to trade with? All right, so 4, 8. I take 8 if I trade with a Rhino. I take 10 if I eat a Shardless Agent. And next turn, at least theoretically, my constructs will be bigger than Rhinos. I think.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and this also locks in the block if they have Brazen Borrower because it's not a trample creature. Okay, they're at the Cast Spirit Guides phase. Draw for turn. I'm going to tap the ring before I make any decisions on Saga. Okay,
City
Transmute.
was like a really good draw.
Okay, so we can make a Saga construct, fire a fresh 1 ring. We have 4 mana on top of that.
Yeah, we pretty much have to One Ring.
Yeah.
We can get Key and draw more cards first. I'm not sure if that's necessary, but I think I would get Key, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We get Key and then have access to 6 mana here. One of it's in a Lotus Petal, but I think we should just draw 4 off the ring.
Yeah.
And spew the
We're not
bog
getting
into
away
it.
with. Yeah, we're using that either way.
Draw a bunch. Okay. Found 2 Force of Negations, which is not the force I actually needed here, but I will take some interaction. See if my ring resolves before anything else happens. Force blue card, last 2 cards in hand.
Wow.
And I'm at 4 life. And I have a ring on 4. All right, we're dead.
Yep.
All right, GG. We got 1 more round to play. Let's do it. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. We're on the play in the final round. We're playing for a positive record, right? Are we 2-2 or are we 1-3? Okay, all right. I like the hand. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, me too.
We've got a nice little soul land curve. Turn 2 ring. Turn 3 jewel. This is a turn 3 goldfish. See if our opponent lets us swim around with that. They mulled a 6. It's cool how cards cycle in and out of playability. Like Saprosan Scary was pretty powerful back in the day, and it just saw 0 play anywhere for a while, and now there's like Paradigm Shift combo, there's this deck, Mississippi River, a bunch of places where a land that taps for 2 is coming up.
Yeah, it's a powerful effect, especially the blue one, because double blue is so tough to get.
Yep.
In addition to that, Force of Will lends you to a game that is okay with playing a tap land.
Right. All right, well, we're against Reanimator. Let's hope this is a pass turn. If we could just stick a ring, we could metamorph whatever they reanimate or just go off over the top of it, and they can't grief us or arc on us or anything on the ring bubble turn. Just fingers crossed that we get that far.
Usually they're looting, land looting openers past the turn. No monsters.
Yeah, no monsters on the discard. They could still grief us here if they drew into grief. Yeah, okay, grief pitching unmask. All right, I mean, this was a bad start. Just capital B bad. Even with the grief, which is going to strip the ring for sure. But that was not a good open from them. And they might still have Petal Reanimate. They kept their 6-card hand on the strength of something.
Yeah, I would imagine they at least have like Reanimate or some way to bring this grief back next turn.
Okay, let's just draw one ring. This is what you get when you co-pilot with me, Tony. I'm a heckin' savage in these streets.
There's no way our opponent continues to play Magic the Gathering after this.
No, they might just sell their collection. I would. Oh, there we got a amazing in the chat. Yeah, I agree. we're already celebrating over here. I don't know if you saw it, but one of the longtime fans of the channel, the last 2 years, has put together a highlight reel of bullshit exactly like that, where I just say, I'm going to draw the card they just discarded, and then I do.
I did watch it. It was excellent.
Turns out if you just play Magic on camera for a full year, there's a lot of moments like that.
Oh, yeah. Now we can just ring walk them into oblivion.
Yep. All right. They found an Entomb after doing nothing super good on turn 1. And if they put Grizzlebrand into play, then, I mean, they've seen this Metamorph. I can have a Grizzlebrand too.
Yep.
Like, this is face up. They can't grief me because I'm under the One Ring, which is normally the plan when you Grizzle, is to like strip their hand and then make sure it works for a turn. But that's not available right now. I don't think they do anything at instant speed in normal lists.
I mean, there's a good chance we just kill them instead.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah, we have 3 jewels face up right now.
Yeah. But there may be a point where we just say, what the heck? This Metamorph's going to copy Grizzlebrand. Why draw 3 when you can draw 14? Really 7. We're going to be paying life on some of these Metamorphs.
Yeah, life on the Metamorph, the Ancient Tomb, and the Ring. I don't think we're going to get 14 cards here. They would need some, like, Iona, like some really specific out here.
I have yet to run into a Reanimator opponent, at least in game 1, that has any game against the One Ring. It's actually kind of shocking to me at this point. There has to be something out there. I just won't do it. My combo decks, I'm not... If you play the One Ring and you're relying on the trigger, it's not going to work. I build my decks to beat it.
Right.
Kind of just the end of that story for me.
Troll of Khazad-dûm, is that stock these days? Are they in the mid-range, or is this a sign that this is like the Rescaminator deck?
Most of them play some number of them.
All right.
But
I guess it's a land that pitches to Grief or Unmask in the worst case, or in one of the cases.
Yeah, and it broadens their range of keepable hands. Like those double Grief hands can become a little more potent if it's followed up with a Troll.
Makes sense. Grief, no target. One ring to rule them all. And they activated Grizzlebrand that turn, did basically nothing, and they have 2 cards in their hand.
Classic Reanimator.
Reanimator sucks.
I've been playing these mono blue ring decks for the past like 6 months, and this has been the joyous experience throughout.
All right. I would just like to put minimum 5 jewels into play this turn and then win. All right. 3, and I could play my land and turn Monolith into Jewel, or I could just turn Ring into Jewel with what I've already got. Do you have strong thoughts about that?
I would do Ring.
Okay.
It's more mana efficient, and then this other Transmute can wind up getting Engine, and then we just have virtually infinite mana.
Okay.
If we draw... Yeah, we already have the Metamorph for another Jewel. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have Copy Artifact and Metamorph here. Look at me. I'm the combo deck now, Reanimator.
So at this point, I would go and get Engine. Although we have enough mana where if we drew it, it wouldn't be a problem. But I've had it happen where, like, I just play a Jewel to play a Jewel, and then I draw the Engine, and then I no longer have the mana to do it because I was relying on Transmute.
All right. Yeah, I'll just flip one of these jewels into an Engine. There it is. And then off we go. Just clicking on stuff here, and Metamorph can be another jewel. Don't even have to pay life for that.
It'd be a
Grizzlebrand can
Grizzlebrand.
draw 14 here.
Do it.
All right. A little disappointed to teach them that trick for the subswinging games.
Maybe they'll resend the amazing message.
Yeah, amazing.
All it found was a petal and a force.
I should probably do some looting here. I guess it doesn't. Or yeah, I don't have a ring. Like we actually do need to get there. Okay, there's another jewel. Discard Peat Bog.
You do have a transmute.
Oh right, sure. Oh yeah, I just get ring. Yep. Okay. Relic of Sauron. Make blue black and then transmute that into a ring. One ring. 29 cards in the deck. Plenty of room to jewel. This kind of becomes a chore after a while. It's fun, but it's work. We're working here.
Yeah, and the more you do it, the more you find like the shortcuts to just get there faster and faster.
Well,
And then most of the time your opponent is scooping, you know. I do enjoy every now and then when my opponent actually lets me attack them twice with Emrakul.
Oh yeah, if we get the big nice one ring salt off, I'm not conceding to anything. Like sign me up for that.
Well, it's reasonable. Like sometimes you have a one ring with a bunch of counters and you cast an Emrakul and they're not dead to it. It's reasonable as the opponent to say, okay, that doesn't actually kill me. I want to see if you can actually present lethal. Or maybe you deck yourself by accident. But then once you copy it and shuffle it back in and draw back into it and cast it again, you usually scoop.
Yeah, I am not sad to actually turn an Emrakul sideways here.
It just literally doesn't matter here. You just click cards at random.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Sitting in my upkeep, I lose 0 life. And I don't know about you, but you're taking 22. Splat. We did it. All we had to do was cheat. Just slam that card right into our hand. Okay, I like Force of Negation here. And do you try to lodestone them?
Certainly on the play. Let me see here. I don't think we actually need the Chain of Vapor. I'm probably okay with playing Otawara in place of, like, maybe one Saga. It's a little bit slower.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would not have thought about cutting a land, especially that land. But it does make sense when presented to me in this way.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had 21 blue cards. Fine with cutting a Dream's Grip, 1 Relic of Sauron, 1 Mox Opal. Relic's a bit slow. I do like having access to it. And Mox Opal is pretty inconsistent.
Yeah, that all makes sense to me.
So do we want Lodestone on the draw? It's a good question. I'm not so sure it's good enough on the draw.
Yeah, it seems kind of slow. Maybe even on the play. I guess backed by 8 forces on the play, it makes a lot of sense. I would rather just combo my opponent here. I think, like you said,
Right.
just like ring locking them is so potent against their deck. All right, I'm going in. All right, we have double force, only 1 blue card, and not really a plan. How high do you weight force blue card on the draw in the matchup? I would understand if it's pretty high.
I take this.
Okay.
Especially with the 3rd blue card, it's not double force, but when you're getting discarded, oftentimes it is as good as double force.
True. Yeah, Grief does not take us off Force of Will here, or Thoughtseize does not take us off Force of Will here.
No, I mean, they're probably just priced into taking one, but Petal is probably the next best card. I think if this saga goes to fruition and we don't draw, like, complete trash, we should be fine.
Yeah, because we can play out Key and Petal, and then at minimum tutor Opal, and have 2 mana to do stuff. And now they know the Metamorph trick. If they put a monster into play that doesn't kill me, it's my monster. I believe I'm forcing this Faithless Looting.
Yeah. They'll probably get stranded with a monster in their hand now. Or two.
Yep, that's what we hope for. Okay, let's just draw Ancient Tomb and set up this Urza Saga Forever monolith.
Oh, that's so good.
That's so good.
So,
Opponent, are you ready to quit Magic yet? Because I'm coming for your whole family.
all right, fade one more turn.
Hashtag amazing. All right. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
That's it.
They got 4 cards in hand and no monster in the graveyard. So they would need resource of some kind, land or dark ritual, and then an entomb and a reanimate.
I think they have Thoughtseize, and they're wondering if they should Thoughtseize themselves or us.
All right, good theory. Even better if it's unmasked. Oh, they're just looting again? Oh, no. Dark Ritual. Oh, if they have to Dark Ritual, then Flashback Faithless Looting. That would be so nice. If they hardcast Grief, that's pretty strong. Okay, if they have a monster and exactly reanimate, or they still have land drops, so they could have land animate dead. Most of their decks available here if they hit a monster. There's actually pretty high hit rates from what's going on.
It sounds like a new Magic card. Land Animate.
Land animate.
It's a land. It's a land that reanimates when it comes into play.
I'm pretty sure there's one of those in Kaldheim. It's not when it comes into play. It's like 5 mana or something. The Dimir uncommon land cycle in Kaldheim. I've played that card in Pioneer Gyruda combo. It's occasionally shocking to me how much Magic I play and how many crazy decks I'm sent based on crazy cards, and there's still an enormous number of cards that I don't know what they are, printed in the last like 5 years. I think I have seen every Magic card from the first 25 years of Magic, but then in the last 5 years, I'm just like, yeah, okay, was that some secret commander release, or where did this come from?
Well, the fatigue is real, man.
Oh yeah,
There's so many cards to just take in. I rely on Discord mostly to like I can't remember the last time I actually just sat down and looked through a set.
yeah. The first time I saw Fourth Aerolingus, it was being cast at the table next to me, like the weekend of the SCG Baltimore that I won. That was release day, or like pre-release day, the first time you could legally play cards in tournaments for Lord of the Rings, and I was like vaguely aware of Orcish Bowmaster, and I played against it once or twice in that tournament, and it didn't matter that much. But then somebody already had not only fully reviewed the set, but reviewed the weird commander offshoot of the set, which included Fourth Aerolingus, and sourced 4 copies on release day. And they were rewarded. I think they got like 4th in that tournament.
Yeah, the Boros player.
Yeah. It's cool how we've been able to discuss product fatigue and tournament results and stuff in the time my opponent has taken on this Faithless Looting. It must not be land reanimate, or what would have taken this long.
No, I think they're still upset about the One Ring draw.
Okay, so this is either like really tricky or we're getting salt roped. All right, they discarded Atraxa. Maybe they were just okay. All right, strong hit.
Yeah, that was a decision for sure.
Okay, yes, because Force Screen Card was what they discarded. There was a real decision being made there. It was keep a card in my hand and Thoughtseize you, or keep no cards in my hand and force a vigor all your permanents. Okay, I mean, now if they have a reanimate left, that may have been another level of the decision. Do I reanimate here, or do I Thoughtseize? Okay, that was not the decision.
It's probably like an Exhume or Animate Dead. What's nice is even if they had made Atraxa, we just have so many live draws.
If they reanimated Atraxa, they might just be dead.
Yep. Or animate dead, whatever, put it into play. But yeah, specifically reanimate.
Yeah, specifically reanimate would have been
Manifold Key kills people frequently.
Carl, that kills people. Yeah, they are dead on board here. They need to return Atraxa into play somehow that is not reanimate, because I have that beat. And of course, Atraxa does stuff. They could spike Force Screen Card off of Atraxa, Or they could pack it up. Cool. Positive record. And the L's were when the cards did not flow, and the W's were when the cards did flow. Like we won the games where we're like, we really need a one ring here, and we lost the game where it's like, yeah, we just need a land in our first 4 draw steps. So having faith and the deck delivering seems to be a part of this engine. You convinced me to keep a bunch of hands that I would have mulliganed on my own, and they worked out pretty good overall.
Yeah, usually I look at it as the deck has a few different things going: mana, disruption, and combo pieces. They can be split up into, like, 2 different things. And generally speaking, if you have 2 or 3 of those things solidly, especially the most important thing being repeatable, like solid mana,
Yep.
then you can rely on the deck to deliver one of the other 2 missing pieces.
Yeah, this isn't quite as force checky as like a Mystic Forge deck that just has a zillion ways to get 4 mana on turn 1 or 2 and 12 game ending payoffs. But it does also it's not that either. It's like slightly geared back from that, but you're also a force deck. So I would prefer this deck over a deck like that for sure.
Yeah, you certainly have some more agency, and people do have to respect a certain extent of explosiveness, and people will often think that you're more explosive than you are and mulligan more aggressively when they shouldn't be.
Yeah, and that's a dirty trick in deck building because you have those hands that are like turn 2 Relic of Sauron, turn 3 One Ring, then start drawing cards, but then you could also just turn 2 Coveted Jewel and the game is over. So you have to respect it, but it's also kind of insane to mull to like 4 just to find a Force of Will. So yeah, it's a powerful deck and doing a lot of cool things. If you want to feel something, I could definitely recommend putting Coveted Jewel in your deck.
Yeah.
And I am glad, point of honor, we went this whole league without a jewel getting stolen in combat. The D&T player could have done it, but didn't need to and chose not to. But this was available. Okay, do you have any final thoughts, Tony, before we wrap this? At least plug where people can find you if they want to see more of this deck.
Sure, yeah. So there's a few things being tested. This isn't like, we're probably a couple months into really grinding this deck. Do you play an island? Do we actually want more lands? Should we be playing Crystal Vein instead of Peat Bog? There are some things that we're toying with, but the general shell and certainly power level consistency, these things are, it is largely solved and certainly going to thrust its way in as a legitimate option, especially because of how much people love Jewel, myself included. But yeah, if you want to find me, I have plenty of content. I have my own YouTube, Twitch. I have a Patreon where you can see various sideboard guides, lists, early access, that sort of thing for the decks that I've created, that being the Epic Gamble, Black Saga Storm, the PO deck that has Emery in it, and of course this. I should mention it's not always just me. There's a whole Discord group that I lean and rely upon to do this stuff. I think I missed one thing. I just started a podcast, which actually you will hear Brian Koval right over here as our first guest coming up in, I think, 2 episodes from now. We're 4 episodes in. It is called Brews of Paradise. We have a focus on brews, of course, and mostly strategy rather than your typical like news type of thing. And we're going to start bringing on guests. It's myself, as well as Punishing Waterfalls and Killabee. So if you want to check that out, it's on Spotify or any of the major platforms.
That's a strong crew. And anyone who just heard all those things listed, I'll have Tony's links in the video description. You could go click on those. I'm ready to get out of here. Are you ready to get out of here?
Yeah, man.
All right,
It's late.
cool.
Tired.
Yeah, we are recording this well after midnight is what our schedules could line up. But everybody, thanks for watching. Tony, thanks for hanging out. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, check out the sponsors, all the stuff that keeps the channel on the air, and I'll see you next time.